Imagine walking into a place where the noise hits you before the door even closes. Voices overlap, people brush past you, lights feel too bright, and suddenly you just want out. Not because you're scared, not because you're weak, and not because you have anxiety, but because something deeper inside your mind is reacting. Most people misunderstand this feeling. They label it as social anxiety or shyness. But what if I told you that people who hate crowded places usually think in a very specific way, and it has nothing to do with fear at all? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you might see yourself or someone you care about in a completely new light. Crowded places don't bother everyone the same way. Some people feel energized by them, while others feel drained almost instantly. If you're someone who prefers quiet spaces, empty cafes, or solo walks instead of packed malls or loud events, this video is for you. And before you assume this is about mental health labels, let me be clear. This is about how your mind processes the world. That's exactly what we explore here on Silent Psychology, where we uncover the quiet patterns behind human behavior that most people never talk about. Before we go deeper, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Silent Psychology. It really helps the channel grow and allows us to keep bringing you content that actually makes you think. If this topic already feels familiar, that's your sign you're in the right place. Now let's talk about the real reason crowded places feel unbearable to some people. People who dislike crowds are usually highly observant thinkers. Their minds don't filter out background details easily, while others can turn out noise, movement, and random conversations. These thinkers absorb everything at once. Every sound, every movement, every facial expression enters their awareness. A crowded place becomes mentally exhausting, not emotionally scary. It's like having too many browser tabs open in your mind at the same time. These people are often deep processors. They don't just see people, they notice patterns. They notice fake smiles, forced laughter, tension in body language, and unspoken emotions. In a crowd, this becomes overwhelming because there's too much information to process. Their brain doesn't shut off. It analyzes constantly. So when they step into a crowded room, it's not fear that makes them uncomfortable. It's overload. Another important thing to understand is that people who hate crowded places usually value control over their environment. Not control over others, but control over their own mental space. Crowds remove predictability. You don't know who will bump into you, who will speak loudly, or who will invade your personal space. For someone who thinks deeply, unpredictability drains energy. Quiet spaces feel safe, not because they are lonely, but because they are manageable. These individuals also tend to be internally focused. Their inner world is rich, detailed, and constantly active. When they are alone or in calm environments, they can think clearly. In crowds, their inner voice gets interrupted. It feels like trying to hear your own thoughts in the middle of a concert. So they withdraw, not because they dislike people, but because they value mental clarity. Here's something most people don't realize. People who dislike crowded places are often emotionally intelligent. They feel emotions deeply, both their own and others. In Accra, emotional energy mixes stress, excitement, impatience, and tension all blend together. Sensitive thinkers pick up on this instantly. It's tiring to carry emotions that aren't even yours. So avoiding crowds becomes a form of self-protection, not avoidance. They also tend to dislike shallow interactions. Crowded places are full of small talk, surface-level conversations, and social performance. For deep thinkers, this feels empty. They prefer meaningful one-on-one connections where they can actually understand someone. A loud party with dozens of people might feel lonely to them, while a quiet conversation with one person feels fulfilling. Another common trait is independence of thought. People who hate crowds don't like being influenced unconsciously. In crowds, behavior spreads quickly. People follow trends, copy reactions, and lose individuality. Deep thinkers notice this and feel uncomfortable. They want to think for themselves, not be swept up by group behavior. Stepping away from crowds helps them stay grounded in who they are. Let's also talk about energy. These people are not low energy. They are selective with their energy. They invest it where it matters. Crowds demand constant social awareness without offering meaningful return. So the brain decides it's not worth the cost. This is why, after spending time in a crowded place, they feel drained and need solitude to recharge. Society often praises extroversion and constant social activity, especially in the USA. So people who dislike crowds are often misunderstood. They're told to get out more or stop over, but overthinking isn't the problem. It's overstimulation. Their mind simply works differently. What's interesting is that many highly creative, intelligent, and self-aware people share this trait. Writers, artists, strategists, and thinkers often prefer quiet environments. That's where their best ideas come alive. Crowds don't inspire them. Silence does. If you're listening to this and feeling seen, know this. There is nothing wrong with you. You don't need to force yourself into environments that drain you just to fit in. Understanding how your mind works is a form of strength. If this video resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment below and share your experience with crowded places. Do they drain you too, or do they energize you? And if you know someone who always avoids crowds and gets misunderstood, share this video with them. It might help them feel understood for the first time. Thank you for spending this time with Silent Psychology. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want more content that explores the quiet side of the human mind. Sometimes, silence explains more than noise ever could.